Good afternoon. It is Thursday the 14th of January 2021. My name is Arran Hunt. I'm a partner here at Stace Hammond and I head up the Migration Partners team. As always, please do not take this video as being legal advice. It is not legal advice. It is purely our observations and comments on immigration here in New Zealand. If you're looking for legal advice, give us a call, give us an email, see if we can help you. Now we were planning on doing a video today or tomorrow just to show the CPVV process, to do a video actually of a screen going through a fake process. You understand what each page is about, what the process is. Had a lot of questions about that, thought we'd do a video about it. However, we just got an email through from Immigration New Zealand in the past few minutes. I'm going to read it through with you now, and I'll also cut and paste that into the description, as well as link to a Beehive press release that came out today as well. It is in regards to 1,000 students being allowed into the country from April. Okay, we'll go to the wording now. Kia ora, from April 2021 up to 1,000 priority returning degree and postgraduate international students and their families will be able to return to New Zealand to continue their studies. Now, I have a comment here. My first reading of that wasn't clear whether that was going to be the month they start coming or the month they can start applying. The Beehive press release does make it clearer that students can begin arriving from April. It will be done in batches, so not all at once. However, I think April is a little bit optimistic. MIQ currently, which is our isolation border requirements, is fully booked through to the end of March. So it may be difficult to have people arriving in April under this unless they have the visa process in place really quickly and get them processed very quickly. We think it's more likely to have sort of a May, June entry start date with MIQ the way it is. But that would still mean being in the country in time to be here for July, the start of the next semester. Okay, so back to the email. The Ministry of Education will determine criteria for distributing the cohort. Places will not be restricted to universities. Students can also return to their studies at institutes of technology and polytechnics, wānanga, or private training establishments. So it means that the still want to find out what the criteria is going to be for this process. The Ministry of Education is setting that, but we'd expect that this is already sort of almost ready to go with this announcement. Okay. Eligible students will have already completed some of their study in New Zealand but were unable to return to New Zealand due to border restrictions. So this applies to students who have already completed some of their study that could have been either a previous degree or previous qualification, or they are partway through what they said here as a degree. So this will be for those who are either sort of doing their bachelor's degree level 7 or who are have already got that, or we've got level 7 and doing sort of level 8 or above. So this does not look like it will apply to the lower levels just yet. It's just for those 1,000 students for now who are currently doing level 7 bachelors or higher. International students entering New Zealand under this exception are required to apply for and be granted a new student visa in line with immigration requirements. Several successful applicants will be required to complete standard managed isolation and quarantine, so MIQ. They will need to book their space through the allocation system and are liable for the standard charges for managed isolation. So as I said, the MIQ requirement is there, you'll be required to pay for. Now they will require a new student visa. So those of you who still have a current student visa, it looks like a new application will need to be done for this. We imagine there will be a simplified process because you have already been in the country studying previously. It won't be seen as being a whole new, well, be a new application, but it won't be a whole new scenario. MIQ will be required as it is at the moment, but it's taking 3 months in advance to book, so we think it'll be hard to get this through by April, but at least we should be back through and people in the country before the July semester starts. Okay, now this is the next big thing. Due to employment pressures as well as a result of COVID-19 and increased living costs, eligible students will need to prove that they have $20,000 per annum to support themselves the duration of their visa, as well as additional funds to pay for managed isolation and quarantine. Now MIQ is, I think it's right, $3,200 per person to do, so you need to have about $23,000 or just over to be able to show those funds to come into New Zealand to study. Now, it is a massive increase on the previous year. It used to be $1,000 a month as the requirement to show for your studies, but it hadn't been reviewed in some time. It was sitting at $1,000 a month for quite a long time. So we have actually suggested in the past that this was being looked at, and it is now coming through as the time they're thinking to increase that requirement. So $20,000 per annum plus the cost of MIQ as well. Next thing, okay, partners and dependent children of nominated students may be included in applications in line with current visa requirements. So if you have a partner who is coming with you, of course the partner could be eligible for a visitor visa or possibly a work visa depending on the study you're at. But they can be included, which is great to hear. And of course a note here that the government has previously approved a border exception for PhD and postgraduate international students. So they've already approved a border exception for another group. So this 1,000 does not include that 250, this is 1,000 more students on top of that. So it is some good news for more students here. There was of course also a Beehive press release, we'll link to that as well. Couple of notes here at the bottom. Border exception details. Students with questions about the border exception should contact their providers. So if you have any questions, go to your university or come speak to us. The Ministry of Education will continue to work with education providers to manage this process. To be eligible for this border exceptions, students must hold or have held a visa to study in 2020, be studying towards a bachelor's degree level or above qualification, so as I thought, level 7 or a bachelor's degree level 7 or above. Now remember that level 7 could be bachelor's degree or non-bachelor's degree. Now this is definitely saying a bachelor's degree or higher. So a level 7, which is a bachelor's degree qualification or higher, not one of the level 7 diplomas which aren't going to be included. Have studied in New Zealand in 2019 or 2020 towards their current qualification, so you have studied previously for the current qualification. It's not about a new qualification, it's the current one you're working on. Be returning to study with their current provider and need to be in the country to complete their study. Now that last point is going to be an interesting one because the question being is if you can complete your study online, is there a need for you to be in the country? For your degree, perhaps not, because you can do it online, but for the opportunity to get that post-work visa, which of course is such an important thing for so many of you, then there is a need to be in the country because that is a requirement of that visa. So it'll be interesting to see what they say in regards to that, and we'll try and find out from immigration how they're going to handle that. Are they going to be looking at this as you need to be here to study, even if it's available online, which it is for a number of you. And last point, priority will be given to students who are closer to graduation. So if you've only got sort of a little bit into your 3-year degree, you may not be eligible. If you're near the end of the 3-year degree or you're near the end of another degree, then you're going to be given priority. So that's how they're going to sort of work out which 1,000 students are going to get this. And so that is some good news for some of you. Others probably were looking for more, but at least it is another step towards opening the border just a little bit more for people to come in and to study. Perhaps once we get through this number, they might look at some more. We'll have to see how the world is going. And that is it for today. I will try and come back tomorrow and do that CPVV video on the process and how it works. But I want to get this out to you straight away so that you're aware of what's happening. Until maybe tomorrow, kia kaha and stay safe.